So, have you ever felt like you're just battling your AI to get something decent back? Today, we're going to flip that whole dynamic. We're going to show you how to stop just prompting and start actually conducting so you can create amazing, professional grade content every single time. Okay, let's just get right to it because this is a frustration I know we've all had. You have a great idea, you write what feels like a perfectly clear prompt, and what you get back is, well, it's just bland. It's this wall of robotic, soulless text. That's the wall we're going to break down today. Look, the answer here isn't to go find a smarter AI. It's about changing how you approach it. The key is a huge mindset shift. You're not just some user typing a question into a box. No way. You are the conductor of this incredibly powerful orchestra, and the AI, that's your instrument. It's time to learn how to lead it with precision. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we start conducting? Well, every great performance starts with a clear plan, a score. For what we're doing, that score is a solid blueprint. So let's dive into how to build that structure right from the get-go. This right here, this is the #1 trap pretty much everyone falls into at first. You ask the AI to write a whole article, a whole blog post, whatever it is, all in one shot. The moment you do that, you've handed over all your creative control. The AI is now making all the big decisions, and that almost always leads to that generic, predictable mush we're trying to avoid. So here's a much, much better way to do it. It's a really simple strategy, and it's called the two-prompt rule. First, you command the structure. You tell the AI to generate a detailed outline for you. Then, once you have that, you direct it to write just one small section at a time. See? This keeps you in the driver's seat, building your masterpiece one piece at a time. And if you want to get really specific, you can force the AI's hand. Don't just ask for an outline. Demand a specific format. You can literally command it to use 5H2 headings or create a 4-part sales page outline. These constraints are your blueprint. They force the AI to build exactly what you have in your head, making sure nothing important gets left out. Okay, so now our blueprint is solid, right? We have the skeleton, but a great piece of content needs more than just bones. It needs a voice. So now we're going to focus on how to fill that blueprint with content that actually sounds human, with the specific tone and personality of your brand. And the way you do that is by baking 3 key things into every single prompt from here on out. First is tone. How do you want the reader to feel? Second, audience. Who exactly are you talking to? And third, format. What should the output actually look like? When you combine these 3, you get an incredible amount of control. And wow, just look at the difference this makes. It's night and day, right? The generic AI gives you this dry, academic sense. But once we apply our constraints, a motivational tone for an audience of e-commerce leaders, you get something so much more powerful. The core idea is identical, but the impact, worlds apart. And you know what's really cool about this? It makes you incredibly efficient. Once you get the hang of using tone, audience, and format, you can take one core piece of content and just instantly spin it out for all your different channels, each with a perfectly tailored voice. But here's the thing, you can have the perfect structure, the perfect voice, and it's all completely useless if the facts are just plain wrong. In fact, inaccurate content is worse than useless. It's dangerous. So let's talk about making sure what we create is rock solid and verifiable. This gives us to a really big and honestly kind of scary risk with AI, this idea of hallucinations. It's just a fancy term for when the AI confidently makes stuff up. It'll invent statistics, create quotes, even cite sources that don't exist, all because it can't find the real answer. The good news is you can totally get ahead of this. You just need to follow a really strict 3-step process, no exceptions. 1, always demand sources. Tell the AI to give you the URLs. 2, you have to manually verify them. Click the links, check the numbers yourself. And 3, use the right tool for the job, a model that is actually connected to the live web for up-to-date info. And this whole idea of being super precise, it's not just for fact-checking. You can apply it to summarizing content too. Instead of just asking for a vague summary, you can command the AI to pull out exactly what you need. Tell it to find only the action items from a meeting transcript, or to create a pros and cons table from 2 articles. You decide what's important. Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've covered the blueprint, we've covered the voice, and we've covered how to get the facts right. These are all individual techniques, but they all point to one single, powerful way of thinking. Let's bring it all home. Really, it all boils down to this single, powerful idea. You never, ever just accept the first draft. You are in control. You are the conductor. The AI is an amazing instrument for sure, but it has to follow your lead precisely and without question. So, think of this as your personal conductor's toolkit, your checklist for every project. First, build that blueprint using the two-prompt rule. Second, master the voice by defining your tone, audience, and format. And third, verify absolutely everything. This is what takes you from being a passive user to a truly skilled operator. At the end of the day, these aren't just little prompts or tricks. They are a whole new way of working that puts you back in the driver's seat. They give you the power to create professional, accurate, on-brand content with total confidence. You're not at the mercy of the machine anymore. You're the one in charge. So the only real question left is, what masterpiece will you conduct?